Hi guys, thanks for taking the time to watch this video before filling out the survey. First, I want to start off, well, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Anthony Saratella. And also, if you don't know, Larry Goretto has stepped down as the golf chairman. I think it's 3 years that Larry was doing it. Going forward, Scott Lee and I, starting in 2025, are going to be the golf chairman, co-chairman. Now, over the course of the last 3 years, Larry had implemented a number of changes, all designed to enhance the experience on the golf course and make things more enjoyable for the members of the Builders Tee Club. I think in a lot of ways he was very successful at doing that, and we should all be very grateful for the job that he did and the time that he put into it. And hopefully going forward, as Scott and I take over this position, hopefully we can even further enhance that and make it even a little bit more enjoyable for all of the members. One of the advantages that Scott and I have is we do the scores every week. You guys see us at the score table, and because of that, we get to see and talk to probably more members on a weekly basis than just about anybody else in the club. All right, so besides just idle chit chat and bullshit at the table, we hear a lot of comments about things. All right, people are commenting about things they like, things they don't like, and as is basic human nature, you're always going to hear more complaints than you're going to hear compliments. Okay, and some of the things that we hear talked about the most are the things that we want to cover in the survey. And the reason for the survey is, and you probably heard me say it at the dinners, our goal is to try to do the most good for the most people. And the only way to do that is to get input from the most people, all right? So that's why it's important for you guys to do this survey, so we get as much input as possible and try to make things as good as they can be for as many people as possible. We also understand that with a group this size, it's impossible to please everybody, and if we try to do that, we're just going to drive ourselves crazy. But we want to try to do the most good for the most people, right? So when people are talking to us, and just so you know, if I bounce around a little bit and seem a little bit loopy at times, it's after midnight, I'm at the firehouse, I've been here since 6:30 in the morning, so fatigue is a little bit of a factor. All right, now, I do have some bullet points that I'm going to cover. I don't have a script and I haven't rehearsed this, so bear with me. The things that we kind of hear about the most are the tee boxes, handicaps, golf courses themselves, and pace of play. All right. First thing I want to cover is the tee boxes. Currently, the way the tee boxes are chosen is strictly by age. If you're 65 or older, you have the option to move forward. If you're under 65, you have to play back, regardless of your handicap or your ability. Now, golf courses don't do things that way. Silver Lake is a great example, and I've seen it at other golf courses too. They have a sandwich board right there at the first tee, and it says if you shoot above 100, you should be playing from this tee box. If you shoot between 90 and 100, play here. If you shoot below 80 or whatever, you can play here. All right? We think that's a better way of looking at things and basing it on ability rather than age, because let's face it, if you're 35 years old and your handicap is 35, you should be playing forward. All right, so and if you're playing forward, you're going to have a more enjoyable round. And not only are you going to have a more enjoyable round, you're going to play it faster. All right, so that's also going to deal with our pace of play issue. It's going to make it a little more enjoyable for everybody if the round gets done a little bit quicker. So in the two different options that we're thinking about for the tee box, both of them are B players playing forward. All right, our divisions are divided by handicap. The A division is any handicap up to 18. The B division is handicaps 19 and up with a max of 36. All right, that's the way we do it. So in these two options, the B players are going to play forward. For the A players, the first option that we had thought about was just strictly, you're an A player, you're playing back. All right, that's where we were looking at. Then it was suggested that we go age plus handicap. Now, when that was first brought up to me, I didn't know really what it meant, and so I didn't think much of it. But as I talked to more people, found out more about how it works, it's pretty simple, and it seems to make a lot of sense because it kind of bases it off of ability but it does take age into consideration. So use the magic number of 90, age plus handicap. So basically what that means, if you're 75 years old and your handicap is 15, 75 plus 15 equals 90, all right? Because it's 90, you get to move up if you choose to do so. We're not going to force you to, but you have that option, all right? If you're 78 and your handicap is a 15, well, 78 and 15 is 93, you get to move up. But if you're 71 and your handicap is a 12, 71 and 12 is only 83, you're playing back. All right, so those are basically the two options that we were looking at, either strictly on ability or age plus handicap. And myself personally, I've become a fan of the age plus handicap option. Scott and I have talked about it, and I believe he agrees with me on that as well. And a lot of the members I talk to, but that's why we want your opinion too, because I can only talk to so many people, and this is a way where we can get more information from everybody, okay? So that's what we're looking at for the tee boxes. B players are playing forward, and then we can go strictly by A players play back, or we can go age plus handicap with a magic number of 90, all right? Now about the handicaps, currently everything is just based off of 72, period, all right? All golf courses are rated equally, but we all know that all golf courses are not equal. All right, so we want to move to the World Handicap System, which will take into consideration the difficulty of the golf course and the tee box that you're playing when calculating your handicap index. All right, now your handicap index is different from the course handicap. All right, you guys can look up exactly what that is if you're not familiar with it, but I'll just read you a very brief definition of it, just so we can get an understanding here. Your handicap index is a portable number that represents your demonstrated ability. But when it comes time to tee it up, the number is converted to a course handicap, which accounts for the difficulty of the course and the tee boxes being played. All right? So what it means by portable is we base the handicaps off of your best 5 rounds out of the last 10 played. All right, and currently we just take those best 5 rounds, we add them all together, divide it by 5, and take the difference between that and 72. So we add those 5 scores together, divide by 5, and it's a 96. Well, the difference between 96 and 72 is 24. There's your handicap. All right. Well, we don't think that a 94 at Deer Creek should be weighted the same as a 94 at, say, Glen Woody, which is a little more difficult of a golf course. All right, so with the handicap index, what it means by a portable number is when you take those 5 scores, it's going to take into consideration what golf courses they were played at and what tee boxes you played from to create that index. And it's portable because when you go to play golf next week, no matter what golf course you're going to, that handicap index is going to be the same. But when you take that handicap index and you pair it with the golf course, with the difficulty of the course and the tee box you're playing from, that's where it determines your course handicap for that day. All right? So a lot of people say, well, isn't that going to be difficult because now you got to figure it. You guys don't have to figure anything out. All right? We punch the numbers into the computer. It's going to spit out the number. Currently, if you want to know what your handicap is, you have 2 ways of knowing it. All right, you're not figuring it out yourself with the club. All right, on the bulletin board that I put up at the golf course every week, the handicaps are posted on there. That's one way. The other way is you go to our website, builderstee.com, the handicaps are posted there. Well, when we transition to the World Handicap System, which gives you a more true and accurate handicap, they're going to have 2 ways to know what your handicap is. You're going to look at the board at the golf course, or you're going to look at our website, builderstee.com, and that's going to show your handicap. So it really doesn't change anything for the player. It's just a different way that we're going to be entering it to give a more accurate snapshot of where your handicap should be. Now what that's also going to do though is, let's say your handicap index is a 16.3, all right? And we're going to play at Deer Creek next week on the white tees. Well, we get there, your 16.3 index gives you a handicap there, let's say it's 17. All right, I'm just throwing a number out for demonstration here. All right, but if next week we weren't playing at Deer Creek, we were playing at Glen Woody, your handicap index would still be a 16.3, but maybe there your handicap is an 18 or maybe a 19. All right, that's if you're playing in the white tees. All right, if you're playing from the tee box up, your handicap would actually go down a little bit. So by doing this, your handicap is going to be calculated based on the difficulty in the tee boxes played when we got those 5 rounds from, and also when we go to the next golf course, what your handicap is going to be there is also going to be reflected by the difficulty of that particular golf course and the tee box that you're playing. Right? It's just a much more accurate snapshot of where your handicap should be. Okay. Now that covers the tee boxes and the handicaps. The golf courses themselves. All right. We want you to rate the golf courses. I forgot if it's either 0 to 10 or 1 to 10. All right. The lowest number, the 0 or the 1 for a golf course, basically says, I hate that place, I'll never go there again, even with a gun to my head. All right. If you rate a golf course a 10, you absolutely love the golf course, you do whatever you have to get there, you move heaven and earth to get there. I'm playing that golf course no matter what. All right. And then you got all the numbers in between where you can give your ratings. All right. What we also want to know about the golf courses is, are there any golf courses that you would like to see us at? Because we hear a lot of people talking about they'd like to see us play at a wider, more of a variety of golf courses. All right? And we would like to do that too. I think everybody would like to experience more golf courses. But what everybody has to understand is not everybody wants us. I mean, it almost seems to make sense to think that, my God, if we're going to show up with 80 or 90 or maybe even 100 golfers to come to your golf course on a Tuesday, and then all these guys stick around drinking, and we spend a shitload of money in the bar afterwards, you'd think people would be begging us to come there, but that's not the case. There's actually a lot of people that don't want us. There's golf courses that think large groups are a pain in the ass. All right, there's a number of reasons why golf courses make the decisions that they do. So if you make a suggestion of a golf course that you think we should try to put on the schedule, if you don't see it on the schedule next year or the year after, it's not because we're ignoring you or that this is just lip service about us wanting to accommodate as many people as possible. It may just be that the golf course just doesn't want us. All right, so it's something else that we're looking into, but we want input from people on that. The pace of play. That's something that comes up a lot. It's not really going to be a survey question because I think everybody would agree we would like the pace of play to be faster. But by doing this with the tee boxes and moving all of the B division forward, that's going to help with the pace of play. All right. Another thing too, and this is once again not for the survey, but something everybody should keep in mind, we have a max score of 9. That doesn't mean take 13 strokes on a hole and then put a 9 on the scorecard. All right. Holy shit. It's probably with golfing at the firehouse. Sometimes the golf clubs fall on you. Once you realize you're going to get a 9, pick up your ball and be ready to go to the next hole. Don't take 4 more strokes. That has a drastic effect on our pace of play. All right. If you hit your 8th shot onto the green when you're 30 feet away, well, you can take that. Let's just say you hit your 9th shot onto the green. All right? There's no reason to putt at that point. It's not in the hole. Pick it up, move on to the next hole. Something else that we want to cover that isn't really necessarily an issue that people bring up, but we want to cover it in the survey is the daily game. All right, we generally get about 60, 63, maybe 65 people to participate in the daily game on a weekly basis. And we want to know what can we do to get more people involved in the daily game. So for those of you who don't regularly participate in the daily game, if you can let us know why you don't want to participate in the daily game or what we can maybe do to make it more appealing for you, make you want to be in the daily game. If you don't understand how the daily game works, it's $20 to play. And it's separated into 2 divisions. You got one for the A division, one for the B division. All right, your $20 goes towards money for closest to the pin on all of the par threes. Skins, net skins, that's your skin with the handicap, and also a blind draw best ball doubles. All right, those are the things that you can get paid for in the daily game. So if you can let us know what we can do. I mean, if what it would take to get you to be a part of the daily game, maybe it's something we can't do. But if we don't know what's keeping you out of the daily game, then we have absolutely no chance of getting you into the daily game. All right, so that's about all I got. I don't want it to be too long. I didn't want this to be longer than the survey itself, but just a real quick recap. Tee boxes, B players moving up. All right, 2 options for the A division. All right, one option is all A players play back. Another option is age plus handicap. All right, those are the options there. On the golf courses, do your ratings on the golf courses. Low number for the ones you hate, high numbers for the ones you love. And then there's also going to be a section in the survey where you can just write comments. It's not all going to be about answering these few questions, but if you have any comments, anything that you think needs to be addressed, things you think could improve the club, improve the experience on the golf course, let us know. And if it's possible, we'll do whatever we can to try to implement these things, as long as it's something that isn't just going to make it better for you, but is going to make it better for a lot of people. All right, we can't focus on just one person at the detriment of all the others. Okay, once again, we go back to trying to do the most good for the most people. But we're willing to listen to any suggestions that you have. We'll take them all in consideration, and we'll try to do the very best we can to accommodate wherever we can to make things better for everybody. So thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your winter. Have a very Merry Christmas. Please try to do this as soon as possible, because I'd like to get these kind of analyze the results of the survey, and by the end of the year get something out to everybody in a newsletter, kind of letting everyone know where we stand there. So everybody enjoy your holiday. Thank you for your time, and that's all I got. Now, yeah, I have to turn around and walk over to the camera to turn it off. So, and Mike Breyer, this one's for you.